Well, thank you very much for three fascinating presentations about an approach to construction technology, or different approaches to construction technology. And I suppose, first off, Misak, could I ask you, what is the sort of cost of what you're proposing compared to a more conventional construction?
Yeah, it's very clear. These houses, which I presented you, the medium house, is approximately 100,000 euros. And if you compare to build it nowadays in the Netherlands with the traditional way, it's around 220, 230,000 euros. So there's an enormous difference, and it has to do with the prefabrication in a factory.
Sure. So less than half. Less than half. And how long will it last?
How long?
How long will it last?
Yeah, we approximately estimate in the 40, 50 years.
Yeah, so comparable to a new conventional house.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then moving to the sand-absorbent skyscraper, which I think is a fascinating project. How quickly could you build one? Is the technology there already, or would you need to do some more research?
Actually, it should be tested in the laboratory, and we should do it in a larger scale to see how it can be worked. But we do it on the some analysis software, and it works. But we should make a maquette of this and see how it works in the real world, actually. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's it. So there's some research.
Yes,
to do.
it's a research base, and
And could you use it in any desert situation, or would it just be in the Middle East? I mean, could you use it, for example, in South America or other areas where there's desert?
Yes, yes, of course. And we talked to some developer in Dubai, and they were interested to work on this idea and see how it works. And we hope that some days we can find a developer to investigate on that.
Yeah. So, okay. And then thinking about the panda, the bamboo leaf, I find it fascinating because you're using such a depth of cultural heritage in weaving bamboo to make something really quite beautiful. But I wonder what sort of building types could you make from it? Because the one you showed was basically a visitor center, a sort of tourist building. Could you make buildings like offices or housing or shops, sort of everyday buildings in the same way?
I think it's okay because, as you know, bamboo and wood as recycle materials. It's from nature. It's you can give you a comfort. Yeah, makes you comfort.
Yeah.
So in the future, I think especially on the carbon footprint, reduce the carbon footprint, more and more building it will be could just like you see the shops and any buildings like schools could make it made by the bamboo. In China, as bamboo is very widely used, as in used engineered bamboo structure. It's very famous in China. We could use the round bamboo and produce the engineered bamboo to in factory, and it could be make the columns and spins. It could span very large. So in the future, I think it's okay.
Which is very interesting because what you're doing, you're taking the traditional way of making something and using advanced technology, digital technology to make it do even more than it does originally, which I always think is interesting. And what do the pandas think of the bamboo that they might otherwise eat being used for buildings? Are they happy with it?
Yeah, So because we come from Chengdu, the panda is very It's maybe it's 2 tons of the China. It's very famous. So we want to bamboo, connect bamboo and panther. So that's so very good.
Yeah. So very much to do with the culture of Chengdu and the Sichuan.
And yes, and if you use the local materials, we could provide more jobs to the local peoples and eliminate the poor and make them very rich.
Yeah. No, I think it's a fascinating project. And I wonder, though, between the three of you, you've presented quite different schemes. What I think underlies them all is the idea of ecologically based materials in construction and digital technology to improve the construction. Do you see links between your different projects? Perhaps I could start with you, Misak. Do you see any links with the other two projects?
Yeah, I think so, because what I see by my colleagues is that they are, first of all, the context is important. In China, it's bamboo, so it is a very logical material to use. And what I see in Dubai is this sand material.
Yeah.
So I think it's also very logical. And what we are using are locally produced wood and terminal modified. So it's all local context. It's all context.
Yeah.
And so I see there's some connection with the other projects also. And the skill is, of course, different.
Yeah. And do you see any connections with the other projects?
Yes, I really agree with my colleague, and I think each of these projects has the contextual attitude, and I think each of them can be a good project maybe in the future, and we can think about them to solve the problems of each one and think about more deeply. Yes.
Which is exactly what we want this program to do, is to think about, how you can imaginally think about construction technology to solve big problems. And I think you're all doing that, not just one problem, but a whole series of problems. Like, whether it's the cost of housing and an ecological, and we can't say crisis, but an ecological situation, or the preservation of traditional crafts in China, or the extreme conditions of working in the desert in Dubai and places like that, the UAE. So I think very, very, very interesting. Thank you so much for making the presentations. And now I have a presentation to make to each of you, because you don't leave empty-handed when you won a WAF Futures Prize.
Thank you.
Ollie, do we
First, okay. Mr. Can I invite my boss, my project leader, Professor Long?
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, bien.